tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. I see you broken and beat, head pulled down over your eyes. Every part of you wants to surrender, but darling, you were meant to survive. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head.
Let's get it, boys.
Looking, he's going to heave one deep down the field. It's going to be to the goal line. It's going to be gone. It's a touchdown, and the Gators have won.
Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of High Top Sports. Let's get it, big dog. Real quick, before we even get started, I saw this super chat, and it already got me fired up. That's why I love Wednesdays. It's the best day of the week. The hottest podcast on the internet. I mean, what's up, Woody? You know what I'm saying? Daniel Hollis says, $5 from him, says, I am an OTR driver listening from Iowa. Wanted to say thank you for getting me fired up, making this drive through hell enjoyable. Go Gators, baby. Let's go, baby.
Go, baby.
I love that, man. I love hearing that. I love hearing that we got people all fired up all the way out in Iowa, man. I appreciate your support, man. Thank you for listening and showing some love with the super chat. Really means a lot. How we doing, Gator family? Steve, you've been missed. I know Lombardi's been looking for you, so he's going to be happy to see your beautiful mug face. I'm missing half.
I already see him in there.
I'm missing half of my face. I'm sure we're going to hear about that tonight, so I'll just go ahead
about it.
Yeah, we'll just kind of get out of the way while we can. What's going on, boys? We're gonna dive into it. Rattled, obviously, this past Saturday we did a little bit of that. Then we got Vandy coming up this Saturday, which typically used to be one of those games where we just you don't even really worry about it. You just move on. But this week, look, I don't want to give Vandy any type of credit, but we can't not give them credit. So we've got to talk about it. We got some visits happening this week, some unofficial surprise visits. Lagway came out and announced his commitment date, which is, boys, that could set the piss missiles.
We have piss missiles.
Yeah, boys, we might be hitting the space if the things go the way we want them to go. That could set off an absolute tear, if you know what I mean. We had a lot of people leaving house, cleaning house today. Dismissed, entering the portal, can't find the bathroom. I don't know what's going on. It's a full-blown exodus there in Gainesville, Florida. So that's what's going on there. And, of course, the old-fashioned the pick'ems here with the boys. But before we get into that, let's say hey to the family. We got Demetrius Davis. What's up, Gator family? Chris Soye, Pest Messos, Adrian. Paul Hewitt says, Shelton, what's happening, Dad? I cut my face off and already made a poor decision. So that's how it's going. But no, it's been pretty incredible.
Keep that
Scott 020, how funny would it be if Louisiana beats FSU and then Billy beats him next week? They're not losing it to Louisiana, but they're losing to Florida.
We've already taken care of one Louisiana team this year. I don't think we're too worried about the other one.
Exactly. Papa Stokes in the building says the wife is working late. Marcus out getting ripped, and I'm chilling. What's up, High Top fam? What's up, big dog?
What's up, big man?
Tim Lombardi, how we doing? Welcome, big dog. Mama, how are you? Fish Reef, what's up, peeps? Holly making an appearance today. He's alive and well, boys and girls. He's been he's missing a sidekick at work, so he's got to pick up for my slack.
I gotta do something, man. We gotta hold it down for this kid while he's getting in some quality time with old Beckett Tiger. So good to be back. Good to see everybody. Good to see some familiar names. We've been in the Discord a little bit, but my man's been holding down the high top business here for the last couple of days, giving you guys some content day in, day out, keeping you guys on your toes. I'd love to see it. Yeah,
absolutely. Jordan Dargan, what's up, man? Johnny, pancake season. I love it. Sorley, I love this little article, or your comment here. It says, y'all read the article about On3, Chad Simmons blasting all behind the scene recruiting efforts from Florida. He's intentionally exposing the recruits and trying to hurt UF. Yeah, like, so that's where I've been like, I saw that dropping. My Malik video got a little bit of flack from it because I messed up, thought it was Corey Bender, but apparently Chad Simmons, when he came out and mentioned the Malik thing, and now everyone's like, well, now they're ruining that kind of secret thing, and these kids are staying. There's two parts to this that I want to mention. I don't like the fact that these guys are coming out and intentionally ruining that, but if Malik was intending to flip and somebody says it early and then he says, I'm not going to flip, was he ever going to flip? You know what I mean? Right. Like, it's just, if you really care about it, you might come out and troll and say, hey, I'm not going anywhere and still flip. That's fine, but if it affects it that much, then how strong was that bond in the first place if one guy's going to come out? Because, look, it happened with DeJean, and all he did was just wait a little bit, make everyone think he was going somewhere else and end committed anyways, which tells me he was always going. He was pissed that they kind of ruined his moment. But to say, like, hey, I'm not going to commit now because one guy's running his mouth, that's crazy to me, in my opinion. But
no, it's like the concept of I was going to flip, but you caught me. So now I'm just going to go ahead and stay committed to that 4-year thing that I said I would do. Oh, but it's only because you caught me. Had you not caught me, I'd have flipped in a heartbeat. You have no idea. Like, come on. If the guy was flipping, he was flipping regardless of if somebody called him out on it a little bit early.
Exactly. Muscle Mascara, what's going on? Aaron Connors, hello from Buffalo, New York Gator country. Woo! I love it. Ed DePriest, what's up, big dog? Baby. Justin Williams. Andrew Apple, how you doing, big dog? Hope Little Link's doing good, man. Justice Williams.
Absolutely. Scared money don't make money, you know?
How about them Gators?
How about them, baby? I love, bro, Steve, you take an absolute just, like, beating. I feel like as amount of times that we hit these buttons, eventually you're going to have it just going to be just, like, in your head. Just to just say,
no,
Gators.
It just reinforces my predetermined.
Is that what it is? It's just like one of those things, like it reminds you of how much you hate Gator Nation? Is that what it is?
Once a Wednesday for about an hour and a half.
George,
I kid. I absolutely love these guys. They're already giving me hell about the Gator Blue high top shirt I got kicking.
That's true.
Tonight. But that's all. It's all in fun. All in good fun. We're going to be having one hell of a time, by the way, here in a couple of weeks. Florida State going to be kicking off on a Friday night after Thanksgiving.
Bro, let's go, baby. It's close. It's closer than we think, boys and girls. That shit's a coming, okay? It is almost. And what's sad, Steve? What's really sad? It's the last game of the season. Well, we have the bowl game, but it's the last game of the regular season. Like I talked about yesterday. We had Tim Kalinowski on. Great guy. But we talked about like we wait all season. It's talking season all year.
Talking season.
And then it gets here, and then we just bitch about it the entire season of what we're unhappy about. And then now we're like, oh, shit, it's over. It's all over with. What happened?
Took it away just as fast as it gave it to us.
Took it away. Yeah. Hey, guys, let's get a like in there, boys and girls. Got over 100 people in the chat. Welcome to the stream, boys and girls. Riddler, how you doing, big dog? Mr. Nobody. Muddy Waters says, Sheldon looks like the guy from Hunger Games without the beard. Which guy from Hunger Games? Mr. Good-looking dude.
The one without the beard.
Oh.
What was it? It was Petter, right? Are you Petter?
Petter. Brian UB, Da Vinci, how we doing, boys and girls? Welcome. TK Gator Nation, what it do, big dog? Cole Embry, what's up? Colorado, we're neighbors. I'm out of Utah. What's up, man? Like your cut, G. I still got the mullet, boys.
You still get the back's still there. The front took a little bit of a beating though.
Yeah. Tim Lombardi says this one's for you, Holly. $20 from the man Tim, bro. Tim always showing some love, boys. All right, so look, while we're here, I didn't show it yesterday, but I was throwing a fit yesterday. Let me go ahead and give the boys a rattle. Let me go ahead and give them a rattle.
Give him a rattle, baby. A little drum roll rattle. Oh,
what's up,
boys and girls? It is back. It is back. That is a level of confidence that not a lot of people can.
Yeah. The guy messed my beard up, but the mullet's back, boys. So let's get it. Let's see the haircut. There he is. There it is. I gotta embrace it. It's there now. So let's rock and roll. A super chat from the boy. $5 from Sorley says Mark Fletcher, running back committed to Ohio State, just decommitted.
Oh boy,
boys. Buckle up. It's going to be busy over the next week. Make sure you guys turn on the bell because, I'm hoping we're busy in the right kind of way. Okay? That's why I ordered the ship. The ship's here, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Predetermined.
The kid who's not Chris Hemsworth. I love it. That's sick like Joe Dirt, but better. I'll take that all day long.
all day.
I'll take that all day long. Ellis James says, achy breaky heart. I didn't go to Prices. No, Andrew. I love Prices. They just take a cash, and you're usually really busy. I went to Epic Fade down the road. Demetri said, what's up, Holly? He missed you. All right, boys, let's get into it. I don't know if you guys saw the rattled that happened on Twitter this weekend, but the Florida Gators actual Twitter page tweeted out a photo of Big Dez giving Rattler the business, okay, and said rattled. And there was a lot of Kane fans that were very upset about it. A lot of Kane pages that were very upset. There was one Gamecock page that was it was, what was it, like, Let's Get Cocky or something like that. Great name for a podcast. And they were just completely in just disarray by the matter. That it wasn't like it was us. Again, it came from the Florida football actual Twitter page, because they said they were attacking a player, going after him. Dude, we got to stop, boys. We got to stop. You got to put the purse down, okay? And you got to get over it, big dog. Because all week long, all I saw was a clip of old Rattler doing the Gator chomp, talking shit. If that's going to get you razzle-dazzled, bro, get out of here. You're not meant to be here. Spencer Rattler came into this knowing what he was expected. You go on the Netflix TV show. You're trying to be this big deal. You think you're the man. That's what happens. You put yourself out there, you're going to get the smoke, okay? Dude, stop. When I saw that, I was like, you have to be joking. Just take your L and move on. Shut up.
Stop it. Ridiculous.
It's not okay. It's not okay. It should be they should be penalized for their sensitivity. I'm hoping I want to clip this, and I want to tag all the Gamecock fans that are being pissy about it, because dude, that's gold. That's gold. If it was reverse, you got to give credit when the credit's due.
So why are the Miami fans upset? Why are Miami fans upset? Where are they even involved in the
What are you talking about?
Thing? Oh, I thought you said the Miami fans were upset about it.
No, I'm sorry. Did I say Canes? I was reading the chat. I meant Gamecocks. Sorry. Gamecocks, not the Canes. Okay. Not the Canes. That's my bad, boys.
Fair enough. We'll move on.
Let me see here. Okay, so let's move on from that. Let's dive right into Florida versus Vandy. Now that we got that out of the way, I like to get spicy. That's how I like to start the show. You know what I'm saying? Just comes the guns a slinging. So, boys and girls, we got Vandy this week, and like I said in the beginning of the cast, we typically wouldn't be too concerned about this, and I'm not. I'm not concerned. I think we play the way we played the last 2 weeks. Shouldn't be any problem. Look, I said, Steve, you can support me on this. When Florida lost to Kentucky, and before Florida played Kentucky, and 2 weeks after Florida played Kentucky, I was adamant that Kentucky was a shitty football team. You
were adamant about that before, during, and after. Yep.
Just because to me they didn't look good. I feel like we beat ourselves, and this wasn't me being negative or a baby. We lost. It is what it is. But I never felt that Kentucky was going to be that dog, and then they go and lose to Vandy, proving that they are not that dog indeed. And so I think they kind of got everyone a little I think you have to kind of oh crap, we forgot Vandy still plays in this conference. They're not even ranked worse in the conference this year. Texas A&M is, which is incredible. I mean, that is a treat that I did not expect to get. And that was I'm pretty sure it's their first SEC win in 14 games, something like that, since their new coach, anyways, in a very long time. So they're coming off a high. It's going to be at home. Thankfully, the Gator fans travel pretty well to Vandy, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But it's going to be cold. I don't know if you guys saw. I did the press conference with Billy. They asked about the weather because the weather's going to be cold. Florida's been playing.
What's the deal with the weather?
It's going to be cold, and Florida's not prepared for that. They've been playing in some hot heat, and they that's what's going on. So we'll see. Okay. What's your thoughts on it, Steve?
So did Billy actually shut down a question about the weather? I saw something about this guy.
I think it was Mark Long.
I don't want to talk about the weather.
I think it was Mark Long. I think it was. I did a watching thing, and I was like, "There's a stupid question," and Billy was like, "I have zero control over the weather." He's like, "What am I gonna do?" And he's right. He's like, "What do we do? We go prepared, and whatever happens." But he goes, "I have zero control over that. Why don't you ask me a question of what I have control over?"
What I can't control. Sure.
Yeah, and the next question was about the travel. The travel scenario, which I thought was a great question, because that is something big with new guys and a new team, and how they handle traveling, playing at early games. And what was funny, I was just listening to the Twitter cast with Anthony Richardson and Princely and the collective, and they asked, "What do you like playing? What time of game do you enjoy more?" And they like these early games, surprisingly. I remember we talked to Clifford about this, and we asked him what did he like, and he liked the 3:30 games because he said the 3:30 CBS games because you can kind of party a little bit in the morning, but then you have enough time to get showered, get rested, and go party after the fact. But the noon games, like it's kind of too early, and then by the time you leave, everyone's exhausted because they got up so early to pregame. So it was kind of his funny take. He's obviously more of a partier, Clifford was, than these guys are. But yeah, they enjoy their early games. So what's your thoughts on Vandy? Should we be worried? Is what it is, or no bueno?
Look, with that kind of cold, you don't know how to predict the outcome of a game. That's just all there is to it. Look, I don't believe that Florida should have any real concern going into this game, whether it's cold, whether it's away, whether they're playing in Siberia. Florida has looked very, very strong in their last two games. The offense looked great against Texas A&M. The defense looked good against Texas A&M. And what they did to old Spencer last week was just an outright, misdemeanor for battery for the way that they ragdolled him. Look, Florida is playing really good football right now. The offense and defense finally seem to be complementing one another, where you don't have, the defense, like let's just go to Georgia, right? Like the defense gave you guys 3 turnovers. The offense didn't come alive until the third quarter. But with A&M and with South Carolina, both sides of the ball came out. They were sharp. They were quick. They made the right reads. They were all over the field. It looked like there was one extra player on Florida's side of the field than there was their opponent those last 2 games. So no, Vandy is going to be a great warm-up game to go into the rivalry next week. So I don't believe there's any issue with Vandy. As a matter of fact, I think AR will have a ball cap on, cutting jokes by the middle of the third quarter.
I think, and I saw a comment there from Connor. It says, look, it's a trap game. It's one of those games where I'm kind of glad that they went and beat Kentucky. I felt like it was Kentucky's trap game because they probably thought they were going to come in. But now I think it may have put a little bit of a radar. Look, we can't just go in there and think it's the typical old Vandy. And like you said, they were talking about on the Twitter space as well, is they want to have more shutout quarters on defense. And like I said, I think if we continue to play that we've been playing, it's not even going to be a question. But the biggest thing that we've been struggling with is consistently and being a complete team week in and week out. I think Texas A&M was the first sign, and it's good to show that we had a good game against Texas A&M. We had a good second half against Georgia, a good game against Texas A&M, and then a great game against South Carolina. So we're showing the right direction over the last, 10 quarters, basically, right? Yeah, 10 quarters. Yep. So they're showing massive progression in the last 10 quarters. We're going the right way. So that's exciting to see. And we got another super chat from man Dominic. You guys are incredible. I love it. I'm kind of late. I'm here now.
Scared money don't make money,
How's it going, my guy? Something's wrong with your face, Sheldon, or are you Sheldon? That's what we're doing. Okay, glad to see.
I would say it's your doppelganger, but it doesn't look anything like you.
Hold on. I'm getting some cryptic messages here from a source, and I don't know what I can or cannot say yet. I'm
trying to take it to Neil on site.
I might not take a knee here, but I'm waiting to see what I can say. Hold on. All right, we'll see.
Chris Sorley, what's up, my man? FSU with the super chat. FSU plays Louisiana this weekend. Does that help FSU or UF for next week's game? I wouldn't put look, I think right now the way that the schedule's played out for Florida and Florida State is very well done. Both teams have it's a conference game, but it's about the easiest conference game you could line up. And we'll talk about it a little bit when we go over the pick'ems. A lot of teams have played a soft game going into their rivalry. For the longest time, Florida would take this week off. They would have a week off before they went into FSU. But it looks like now with the addition of an extra game, they have a game now, but they're using more of a softer approach with a Vandy, a Louisiana. Really, I think the only thing that could hurt either team right now is an injury to a starting 11 player, starting 22. That's really the only thing that I think could hurt. If nothing else, it's really more of, it's going to give you a good practice on playing an away game. Now you're going to do that next week. For Florida State, it's going to give us, a home game and then a home game next week. There's a lot of positives you can take from it, a lot of going through the motions, a lot of working out some things that you want to try to do on the field. And these are the two teams that should give you the opportunity to do it. I think Vandy and Louisiana potentially have a shot at coming out and maybe throwing a haymaker that neither one of the teams expect. Sure. but it's unlikely. I think this is more going to be a game to refine themselves going into next week than anything else.
Look, I think I don't think a game like that ever hurts anybody. Now, a couple in a row probably could. You can kind of get into like a rut. But I think Florida State's been doing pretty well and staying pretty focused. Look, they look good. I was talking with Tim last night about how if they were to expand things to the 12-team playoff, that FSU would be on the outside looking in right now. And that these two games would have way more value in them than they do right now. And so, because we talked about how some people are thinking that it's going to ruin the regular season, but a game like against Louisiana, like, no, you have to go out there and bash these guys for style points. Because if you're 19, 16, 15 looking in, and if you guys in front of you take an L, which that's probably going to happen more than likely, and it's between you and two other teams, they're like, oh, well, how'd they play against Louisiana? How'd they play against Florida, right? So it's kind of just exciting to see. Like, that's, if I'm Norvell, that's the kind of the mindset. It's like, guys, we got to go out there and play like as if we have a chance to play into a play. I know it's not really the same thing, but I think now it's like, hey, gauge the type of the bowl game that you get of how successful a season that you had. Look, sure. I don't think anybody expected Florida or Florida State to be where they are. I think Florida expected to be probably at 8-4. We were hoping maybe a little bit better, but an 8-4, 7-5, and that's kind of where we're right at. We're close to it. We're floating around it. As are you. I think we had you guys going way worse. I think you yourself had them go. You got yourself going. I think you had yourself going 7-5. If I'm not mistaken.
I said 7-5. Yeah, no, I did. That's right. I said 7-5, but Norvell needed 8 wins. He needed 8 wins to feel comfortable in the seat to get a little cooler.
And
but
you guys are what
thought
right
it
now?
would be 7. We are 6-3.
6-3.
7-3.
So I was going to say, okay. So you'll get 8 with this weekend and finish 8-4. So I like that.
I saw that. I heard that.
Okay. All right. I can't say too much. I just know things are looking good. Things are looking good from what I'm saying for this upcoming class. I can't say too much though, boys. But that's my sources haven't let me down before, and I trust this source. Okay, trust this source. I can't say too much. I can't say any more than that. But we're
shut up.
Sorry. Let's go Raging Cajuns. I want Florida State to beat Raging Cajuns. I want Florida State to come in a top 15 team when Florida plays them. I mean, how do you not want that?
Yeah,
you would want the same thing on the opposing side.
Absolutely.
If you're Florida State, you want to be the guy that ruins their season not ruins, but you know what I mean? Like shits on their parade at the end of the year. Look, I think we beat you guys. We both finished 8-4. We both go to a great bowl game. What would be incredible? We play you guys in a bowl game. Could you imagine?
Little fifth quarter in the French Quarter action.
Yeah.
Little rematch after the final game of the year.
In a neutral site.
Before, obviously.
That in a neutral site, that would be a good time. I would give you guys all kinds of rattles.
Maybe we line it up right here in Jacksonville. We line it up right here in Jacksonville.
Dude, that's what I keep saying it. I'm hoping that it catches on of like, why wouldn't you put more games like that together as a bowl game? Like you have the control of who plays who. Like be smart about it. What two teams can we place against each other in a site like Jacksonville and it's going to sell out? Boom. Put Florida State. It makes sense.
The only thing it would just be bad for hotels. Like nobody's staying overnight. Nobody's traveling in. They're all just driving into the game. So it would kill. Florida
State's a little bit of a travel.
Part of it.
Florida State's a little bit of a travel. Florida State's like 5 hours, so you wouldn't drive for that and not stay. And same thing with Gainesville. Gainesville's 2.5. And if you're gonna go up there and party, you'll stay.
Yeah, I can see that.
You'll stay. You'll hang out with the boys for sure.
But a lot of times it's not the college location that brings the fans, right? Like, granted, Tallahassee's 2.5 hours away from Jacksonville, but are the majority of the fans coming from Tallahassee, or do they already live here? Or are they, coming down from Savannah or coming up from Orlando or something like that? You know what I mean? So it's not always about the physical location of the school itself. The fan base spreads out as soon as they're out of college anyway. So it would be, what is that going to do to what's the current, like, look, I mean, you and I drive around town, right? Like what are the two license plates that you see predominantly on cars when it comes to college football? It's Florida and Florida State everywhere,
sure.
Right? So it would, if it was a Miami game, it played up here in Jacksonville, I would see them staying if it was something like that. But they
don't get bowl games.
Well, no, they don't. They get a lot of pancakes. They get a lot of pancakes.
I love it. Hey, real quick, boys, we got over 200 in the chat. Let's drop a like, boys. Let's try to get to 100 likes before the night's over. Real quick, got a great comment here from Orion Giant. It says it's insane the momentum Florida is feeling right now. Look, I think Florida State's having it as well too. I don't think they're having it on the off the football field yet with recruiting. I think that's where if Florida State's having a better recruiting year, and they're not having a bad one, but I think they're not. I don't think Norvell's capitalizing enough, in my opinion. And I'll go back to you from a fan perspective in a minute. But Florida's feeling it right now. So pumped for signing day. I'm excited. I don't think I've ever been so excited for recruiting and signing day than I've ever been than I am right now. I think the next few weeks are going to be just electric for football. Look, that Florida State game could leave a sour taste in our mouth if we do take the L. That's not going to be fun. But I think we can bounce back pretty quickly with the recruiting class that could be lining up for Florida. Defense is on fire. AR is improving every week. And look, it feels good right now. It feels like I said this last week, like this, it's like a stock market, and we were kind of going on this downward trajectory. It felt like, and it finally feels like we're starting to work our way up and hop aboard the spaceship and get going. So it feels good to be there. But I want to ask you, Steve, so where do you, again, we've talked about this, and I think Florida State's done a great job on the field. And I feel like they kind of move like the G in lasagna. They move silently, and they slowly get things done. But I don't feel like they're capitalizing enough. Now, the same point, and this is something that Uncle Lou brought out to me, is like, look, if Florida finishes top 5, top 4, top 3, if we finish number 3rd, we're still in 3rd in the SEC. Or we finish 5th. If we finish 5th, we might be even 4th in the SEC behind LSU, Georgia, and Bama. Which, great, a top 4 class, but we're still 4th in our division. Like, yeah, that's still a really good class. We're not competing with the big dogs. If Florida State has a top 15 class, you're 2nd in the ACC. You're going to be competitive. And so maybe that's it. Maybe you don't have to be as flashy in the ACC, because just simply due to the fact that the only person you're really competing with right now is Clemson, and they're right now, to me, they're on a downward spiral more than, I think they're worse in a worse state than Florida State. They just have a better record because they've been able to pull some W's off, but I think Florida State might be on a little bit of a tear here, boys.
So one thing when it comes to, I think, Norvell's recruiting philosophy that's been a little different than what Billy's doing. One, Billy's in his first year. You always get that first year big recruiting push because you're a relative unknown. Norvell, unfortunately for Florida State, his first year at FSU was the COVID year. So there were no visits. There were no anything like that. That's a really tough way to have your first year as a coach. You don't get that big momentum from being a fresh face. The other piece of this is Norvell is very, very involved in the transfer portal. And he's been that way since he was at Memphis. I'm not saying that the guy won't put together a class, but his high level of emphasis is about a 50-50, maybe a 60-40 blend of guys coming from high school to guys who are transferring that are already a little bit experienced in the college ranks. I mean, if you look at our last 3 top defensive linemen, all 3 of them were transfers. Jared Verse came from Buffalo. Jermaine Johnson came from Georgia. He was a number 1 pick. These guys weren't recruited by us. They transferred.
He's like Lane Kiffin. Like Lane Kiffin then.
Yeah, pretty much. But again, that's another thing kind of going back to, looking at recruiting rankings is they don't quantify any of the transfers. That part doesn't get factored in. But look, our offensive line is playing their ass off. We have not seen FSU's offensive line look this cohesive across the board in years, almost a decade. Certainly back when Jimbo was here, they were a lost cause. But this year they look great. Alex Atkins coaching up the offensive line and doing what he's done with the offense, and 3 out of the 5 starters on the offensive line weren't here 2 years ago. These guys are college experienced and just now getting to Tallahassee. So his recruiting style and his philosophy on how he brings players in is a little different than what Billy's doing now. I think right now Billy's got that headwind. He's going at this thing. He's got a ton of momentum, and the recruits are buying into it. Keep that going. Keep that momentum going. But for right now, Norvell, he's finding a lot of absolute gems in the portal, and these guys are almost instant gratification. Jared Verse was not wearing an FSU jersey last year. Jermaine Johnson only wore an FSU jersey for 2 years. Prior to that, he was at Georgia, and nobody had ever heard of him. So that being said, I just think it's 2 different philosophies on how they're looking to bring talent into the roster. Sure. What Florida's doing from a recruiting standpoint is
unmatched right now,
amazing and scary.
Yeah, no, I think.
But again,
2024 looks really good too, and 2025. I mean, he's setting the soil, as I like to say. A couple things. We got some news going on as we're on the channel, as we're live, which I love. This gets me fired up when this happens. But we got a few super chats, boys. We're humming. Okay, I brought the spaceship out, not knowing what was going to happen, but I should have known. I should have known that we should have been prepared for this. Okay, when the spaceship comes out, who knows what's going to happen, boys? Okay, we got a super chat though from Fish Reef. And we've got to talk about this. I keep saying it, and I don't want to drop the ball on this. Are we broadcasting live the FSU versus Florida UF game with Holly present? I'm all in. Steve and I got to talk off. We got to talk off camera because, guys, Steve is a phenomenal sport. And I've said this time and time again. He is a phenomenal sport. I myself can be very obnoxious and poke a bear and rile them up more than they need to be. So I take full responsibility for my actions. But Steve can get a little rambunctious. And my concern is we basically burn this channel if we do this live. So we got to make sure that we can. Because if I'm in Steve's seat right now, and Steve loses, it's gonna sting. It's gonna sting for both parties right now because of where the seasons are headed. So it's gonna hurt both of our prides. Like for us to be able to be like, oh, no big deal. I know that's not gonna happen, and that's my concern is that like both of us are gonna be fired up. Number two.
Yeah, for a lot of these guys, they haven't seen. We can barely get through a baseball game as friends.
Yeah, like and Steve doesn't even know what baseball is. Okay, it's just he just knows that his team is playing against my team, and it's our team's playing basketball on Friday. This Friday.
Yes.
We'll see. We'll do a practice run. We'll
see how it goes. We'll do a live stream right here.
Oh, geez.
To see how it goes.
I'm going to do, what I would like to do is go to Dick's right down the road here in San Augustine and have you guys come out. I don't know what, or not Dick's, Gator Dockside. Why they wouldn't allow us to go and set up for a show and say, hey, we could have over 50 people in here, just come eat and drink and hang out with us. Beats me. But I don't know. So I'm going to call tomorrow. I'm just going to go ahead and call tomorrow and see what I can get figured out. If not, we'll just do it from the house or something. We'll figure it out. But I know we have to do it. I don't think we can not do it.
We'll do it. We'll hug it out ahead of time. We'll lay the groundwork. We'll make sure that we display a public display and affection of our love for one another. And then for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, we'll just hate each other to death. And then we'll just hit the reset button. There's nothing that a little alcohol can't wash down.
Sure. Yeah, there's not enough of it, Steve. Another super chat from the man, Papa Stokes says, Holly, you are so football smart. Chomp chop. Papa Stokes just texted me. He says, I know Gator Dockside people.
Thank you.
So maybe Papa Stokes can work his magic. Papa Stokes is always making it happen. Maybe we can make that work. Maybe we'll have Marcus and
just connected.
Marcus and Papa Stokes come out and hang out with us. All right, so here's what's happening. I'm seeing it in the chat. I also saw it when we were on the live. Mark Fletcher decommitted from Ohio State. So I went on there, checked it out. I saw Florida was not even on the list. On the 247, I'm on the website right now. Florida was not even on his college list. So I was like, okay, like great, he decommitted. I see he's from Florida, whatever. Now I see you guys, he's crystal balled. Well, I don't see him crystal balled on mine, but I do see Florida now as a warm interest and as a 12% possibility and 87% to Ohio State. He's the number 9th running back in the country. He's 260 nationally. So 202, so just outside the 200 mark. So a solid look. We've been talking about we need another running back to add to the room. As much as we love Trayon and who's been in the head of recruiting, it's just like the same thing with Marcus and Jaden Rashada. You need depth there. You need to bring in your own guys. You have to have that. And I think Trayon understands that as well too. Look, Cedric Baxter is supposed to be one of those guys, but if Fletcher is there, then maybe that's going to be he's 6'1", 225. That's a big boy. A big boy.
Oh boy.
So that'll be interesting to see how that kind of plays out. Okay. I didn't have eyes on him, but we'll see how that goes. So again, you guys are already in the chat.
Maybe he has eyes for you.
keeping it live and rolling, boys. We're 30 likes away from 100 likes. See if we can get there.
B-Bean, let's be recruiting him, baby. B-Bean's always out there. Like, what do you mean to tell me 200 plus watchers and only so many likes, like 66 likes? Come on, people. That's the kind of guy we need right there. That just always pushing them. Get out of your comfort zone and click the thumbs up. You're staring straight at it. I know what you're looking at. Just click it.
Somebody just said, "Why do you leave Ohio? Because it's cold." I love it. Tim Lombardi said he's there. Set it up.
Vandy game. You got to see.
I love it. There we go. Got some likes in there, boys. I love it. Go live for basketball? I might, Johnny. I mean, I get pumped for Gator basketball, so it's a little early, but against Florida State, I mean, hell, why not, right? $5 from Chris Storley says, Fletcher is close with Webb. He was at the Carolina game this weekend and loved it. I love it. That could be huge. And then $2 from Dominic, my man. Appreciate you guys. Webb made a statement on our retweet on Fletcher. Hee hee. What's up, Cody? Welcome to the stream, big guy. Yeah, that is a big running back, guys. I mean, I think look, you need all that. You need the love there. So, and just to kind of give you kind of a thoughts and comparison on where Trayon is in this situation. He's ranked 237, and he's 6'1", 205. So Fletcher's a little bit bigger and ranked a little bit higher, but not by much. So Trayon's 12th, and Fletcher is number 9. So two solid running back in the rooms there to help add up to that quality. So good news there, boys. I like to do my calculator, but I don't think he's going to make a move that big. But again, there's still a lot out there that I'm hoping for. We just broke 100 likes, baby. Let's go.
How about them Gators?
Come on, baby. Yeah, great point, Orion. Says, if you're a running back in the country, how do you not consider Florida? Just on the fact of what Montrell's been able to do this year and what they see Trevor doing, how do you not see that? But yeah, I want to come here. I mean, what he's doing for the O-line and how he's feeding these guys and Billy's offense, and they spoke to him on Monday. He was part of that Derrick Henry offense. I mean, those are absolute dogs that he's building out there. Montrell was a 2-star recruit, and now look at him. He's probably got the eyes from everybody on him. So I don't disagree with you. I think that's why the 2024 class and 2025 class, where Billy's able to come in a little bit earlier, these guys from 2023 were already somewhat committed. So we're trying to pick up what's been left over, what's been ignored in a sense, and still trying to flip, but it's a little bit harder, right? You already got these coaches that have their vangs in them. So it's it's a little bit harder to get it rocking and rolling. So you guys are bumping on the likes. I appreciate it. Almost 300 in the chat. You guys rocking and roll. I love you guys. I appreciate it. Montrell's like 5'11 and a half and like 220, 215. He's just a little bit shorter guy. So 6'1".
Yeah, Solely just dropped in there. 6'1", 215. Is that him? Is that Montrell?
Montrell's 5'11 from what I'm aware of.
But
I could be wrong. Could be wrong.
No, Scott, I will not.
Yeah, Muddy, I think that the fact that Billy's playing a lot of freshmen is helping every class, and I couldn't agree more. I think that's something we talked about from week 1, that him placing all these young bucks in there has made a huge impression on the imposing classes of like, look, if you're good, you're going to play. And they're successful. It's not like they're just playing and just kind of floundering around. They are successful early, which is exciting to see, and I think that's where, look, Florida State football is looking really good. We thought Miami was going to be part of this trifecta, and Florida football was going to be making a little bit of a tear, but Miami's dumpster fire. And I honestly, look, I said I would love for Miami to be good, but I also love Miami shit. So there's really no lose here. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's a win-win. It's a win.
I like that Florida State's doing good. I don't want Florida State to do good against Florida.
When they win.
But I enjoy Florida State doing well right now because, again, if we're able to beat them, that makes it even a little bit sweeter. Because when Florida State sucks or Florida sucks, that game sucks. We talk about that all the time.
The game sense. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Look, I will say this. I mean, from what Florida's doing with their offense and the way that they're running the ball, the way that they're rotating those backs and bringing guys in, and between what Florida State's been doing on the ground with their 3-headed running back monster and the rotation that they've had, I don't know if you're going to see a running back leave the state of Florida here for a while. It's been a while since Miami and Florida State were able to lock down the state recruiting wise and keep kids from leaving out to Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, things like that. But look, if we can keep both offenses humming the way they are right now, especially with that running game, I'd be surprised to see a 4-star, 5-star back want to leave. Yep.
Lock it down, boys.
Want to leave Florida. Too many options.
I love it. Real quick, let's do this. We got a 5-star visiting Florida. A little secret visit from Samson Okaluna Lola. I probably butchered that. As a matter of fact, I know I butchered that. It's an unofficial visit. Offensive tackle. The guy's an absolute freak. He's a stud. Top recruit. Number 8 in the class. 6'5", 305. Number 16 overall prospect in the 2023 class. This would be a major land for Florida. Is it going to happen? I don't know. He's on a multi-day visit, unofficial visit, which means, again, we've talked about it before, the difference between unofficial and official is they get no red carpet treatment. They cover all their expenses. Okay? So that speaks volumes, in my opinion, when a kid comes out for multi-day visits on his own dime. That says a lot of, like, hey, I really want to go see what's going on down here in Florida and make an impact. My boys, if we get this, I don't think I have enough spaceships to fit in this room. If we're able to get that, because again, that is just, we're setting the tone and we are making an absolute tear for a top 3 class. I said that before. I got a lot of flack for it. I'm going to stick to it until it doesn't happen. But that, I mean, look, if we're able to flip this Fletcher kid, I mean, I don't see why things are going in the right direction. Let me hit a refresh to see if this percentage has changed. Because some guys, everyone's saying he's crystal ball. Yeah, it's still saying that. Oh my God, Miami popped in here now. What Miami just popped up on his college list for Warm. Oh, for the love of God, I can't do this anymore. So Sampson, he had a multi-day visit. We'll see how that is. Maybe we'll get some insight. But right now, I think he's in his visit or coming soon. I'm not quite sure, but we will see. So, he's also taking an official to OSU this weekend for what it's worth. Look, I think he's taken a couple of unofficial visits. He hasn't visited many schools. So that's also a positive that hopefully we're not competing with too many people. Wouldn't be surprised if Miami came out of nowhere typically, but that would be
but they'll just lose him in 3 days. he'll just flip in a week.
That's true. That's true too. So that would be massive. Look, I love the fact that he's visiting. I think it's great for us. So next thing is some big news. We got DJ Lagway, 2024 5-star quarterback recruit, has set his commitment date for my birthday. That weekend is going to be busy. Here. I think Desmond Ricks is visiting that week. I want to say there's a couple more commitments happening that weekend on the 4th, the 5th, probably the 6th, and the 7th. It's going to be a busy weekend. Do you know what also December 7th is?
Is that the day we landed on the moon?
It's a Wednesday, meaning the show's going to be on Wednesday. So I'm loving it. I'm loving that.
Is there something else going on Wednesday? On that Wednesday?
That's just good. Just the greatest show on the YouTube's going to be alive. The podcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I mean, coincidence? Does Lagway watch the show? I don't know, but it sure as hell feels like it. You want to talk about getting the 2024 class hot and rolling and steamy? That's going to get things going, boys and girls. And look, it's going to help for that 2023 class too. Believe it or not, I think it will, because they're going to see like, hey, that's where the future is too. Some of us are going to be part of that future. So Luke says I graduated from college that day. It's going to be a great day. Hopefully it's going to be a great day for all of us here, boys and girls. Let's get a like for just some excitement. I see the Gator Nation in here is fired up about On3, just not happy with the reporting and saying they've all unsubscribed and they're done with On3. On3 is getting a lot of flack. It's tough out there for them boys. Da Vinci says my prediction, Hermione lands at UF. So look, good stuff there for Lagway. And then there was a lot of news this past few days with people being dismissed. Obviously, DeJuan Black being dismissed today. Was it today? My days are all fixed up. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was today.
I think so. Yeah, it said 7 hours ago when I saw it. Yeah.
This one I feel like hit Florida fans a little bit different. I know a lot of Florida fans are like, "Hey, we have nothing but respect for DeJuan." As for why, we don't know. He's entering the transfer portal. We haven't seen him much this year. He had a big onside recovery against the Tennessee game. Outside of that, he hasn't really been he's been quiet. It's been quiet from that corner. But obviously, we had as well as that some portal guys hit the portal. We had Nick Helsinki, the tight end. Griffin McDowell, I think I said his name incorrectly as well too. So it's
we got to do a warm up on these things before.
Yeah, it's okay.
Live.
Nick, Elkness. I think it's Elkness, and then obviously Trent Whittemore was another big one that was transferred that hit the portal this weekend. That was pretty massive. We all expected it with his brother transferring to Mississippi State. I think we could all see the writing on the wall, especially with the new guys coming in. Obviously, Burke's on the depth chart because Xavier Henderson is out. Caleb Douglas. These guys that are all freshmen, they're all starting over Trent Whittemore. The writing was on the wall. We can't be freaked out about it. I don't think anybody is. But look, we're losing guys in the portal one after the other, and we're getting better and better each week. So what does that tell you? We're cleaning house. We're wiping the floor clean, boys. It's time to lock it in, buckle up. Spaceship's leaving the station, okay? You're either with me or you're not. So I'm loving it.
Look, the one thing I will say with Billy coming in, new head coach, and we've talked a lot about the transfer portal and what that's doing to college football. Is it good? Is it bad? A million different opinions, right? We talked about it all summer during talking season, as we like to call it here. But that being said, so let's just call it what it is. Like prior to the transfer portal, if a new coach came in and he looked at the current roster and started to evaluate and realize some of the guys that are on this roster recruited by the last coach do not fit my current system. I don't like their work ethic. They haven't bought into my system, whatever the case may be. Coaches, even without the transfer portal, would all of a sudden start like, oh, this guy got dismissed for a parking ticket. Well, this guy is, now they just start dropping like flies all of a sudden, but they had no real recourse, the players, that is, to go to another college. They didn't have, but they would essentially get cut like they were an NFL player. New coach comes in, he's got to make room, especially like what Billy's doing right now. Having a great class, he's got to make room for that. You got to have the room to get these guys, coming in for the class itself. But right now, Billy can come in, he can give these guys options. He can let them know this isn't a fit. I don't see a long-term spot for you here. And these guys have an option to jump into the portal, go somewhere else. So it makes this whole situation of a new coach coming in, getting rid of maybe some guys that aren't buying into his system, gives them opportunities to where their career doesn't just take this huge hit by having to take a redshirt year to go from one college to the next. So what Billy's doing right now is what I think a lot of coaches have been doing for many, many years. It's just, it looks cleaner because the players actually have an avenue to pursue another school and play next year.
I was just about to say that it seems noisier in a sense because there is that portal now, so they're treating it like a free agency. It's like, look, we're going to go ahead and let you go do what you need to do. We're giving you time now.
It looks like all the kids are leaving. No, they're not. Like this is an agreement.
The writing's on the wall. It's like, hey, you guys, we're going to go ahead, and you talked about it before of like, hey, where one kid says, hey, I'm taking away my. Sometimes they decommit. It's sometimes the school's pulling away the offer, but they're not going to rag the student away, so that they allow the student to speak on it. So it saves face for them, so they can go on and have a future and a career. So it just, again, I was just going to say that with the portal, it feels like free agency now, even more so. Like, hey, like we're playing our end, you're going to play your end. There are some guys that are going to actively, like, yo, I'm out. But these guys, it's attrition. It's part of it. You have to expect this kind of thing. It's just the way that it's happening. It's not happening until after the season. It's because, look, Billy's like, look, go ahead and get started now. Start your free agency as soon as possible. Get ahead of the curve and allow people to start talking to you. That's how I'm looking at it. And here's what's great about our Discord and our members.
That's a good thing. I like it. I actually like that for the players.
Yeah, 100%. LFGM sent me the message for what happened to Juan Black. It says, Billy says he was dismissed for undisclosed disciplinary reasons.
Yeah, like
typical.
Ticket.
Yeah, typical Billy. Typical Billy. Look, I think if you're a true Gator fan and you've been watching what's happening, you have to love the cleaning house approach here. You can't be mad about it. You got to love every second of it. And I think most of us are. There's a few trolls left, but I love it. What's up, Chef? What's going on, big dog? Welcome to the stream, baby.
He's hopping in the chat right now.
There he is.
He's popping in. He's like, man, they're like preferred walk-ons.
Bro, Jet spam in the chat. He goes, have you heard Basement Football League guys are back? I love it. Love to see that you're back.
Oh, Jet, what's up, buddy? We haven't seen you in a little while. We'll definitely dial in for that.
Yeah, what's up, baby?
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, look, even Chef says, I like Black, though. He was excited of getting him more involved, just didn't pan out. Yeah, a lot of Gator fans were pumped for DeJuan Black, and obviously it didn't pan out the way they wanted it to. But it is what it is. Night, Muddy. Hey, boys, we got over 300 in the chat. We're humming this afternoon. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. If you're brand new, make sure you guys subscribe. We go live every Wednesday at 8:35. Also, drop a like. Costs nothing to do. It helps the channel out a lot. Shows the algo that we're doing good, that you guys are loving what you're getting. So we appreciate it. Look, boys, all in all, I think that the direction of where Florida football is headed, Florida in general, Florida State, both teams are looking great. The recruiting's looking exciting. I think the portal talks and the transfer and the dismissals are all within good reason. You hate to see it sometimes, but I think Billy has taken full reign and full control of this team. And I've talked about it time and time again of where he has slowly segued into being the guy. He had to kind of play the game a little bit, but I think now it is full force. I'm taking the reins. Papa's home. And now because he's winning and he's winning in dominant fashions to an extent, the guys that are staying are buying in, and now it's easier for him to really hone it in and lock it in and say, yo, this is what we're doing. You ain't cutting it. See you later,
Gator. Those voices. Yeah, you don't have those voices that maybe just aren't buying in, maybe in the ear of the guy that's maybe 50-50, 75-25, right? And even, Sheffield mentioned just a little bit ago for you guys, no one that you need is leaving. You're not losing anything. You've obviously got some some heartstrings with some of the players who have played for you guys. You never want to see those guys not in the jersey that you've known them in. But that's just part of it. But to Sheffield's point, it feels like this is more of a house cleaning and anything than you're losing a star player that you're going to have a hard time filling on the back end.
Absolutely. Steve, can you ban Haley out of the chat, please?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, it's a legitimate question. I mean, just a little bit late.
I already gave a rattle, boys. I already rattled the mullet. All right. Maybe we get a couple donos in there. I'll rattle it again, but I'm not rattling it for free. There's no way that's happening.
Good.
Look, we got a big week, big game this week against Vandy. I'm pumped for it. Look, I think this is the first time week over week I've been just fired up for Gator football. I mean, it's just been an exciting year to watch. I'm loving it. I'm loving where we're at. I think the next 2 months, which is crazy to think that the end of college football, it feels like it's the start of a new era. I think the Billy era is starting to really kind of arrive. I know it sounds weird, but like it's starting to take place. So now we get to watch a whole other offseason develop. We last year, his last offseason was kind of we were finding ourselves, which is kind of funny. High Top Sports was starting to find out who we were as a group and as a podcast, and we grew up with Billy, and we kind of found our way through the season and throughout the year, and so has Billy. And now we're gonna roll into our second offseason as a crew, as Billy rolls into his second offseason, and it's gonna be fun. I think we're more prepared than we were last year. Obviously, last year we were kind of just flying by the seat of our pants, as Billy might have been at the beginning of this year.
What we were doing.
And now we got a little bit. Hey, we still don't know what we're doing, but at least we've got mullets and we look good. You look
good.
We'll see, boys. We got to move on to pick'ems. Steve, you pulled one away. You went 3-2.
I got one on you last week. Yeah.
I went 2-3. You went 3-2. I am 42-43. You were 35-44. And you're running out of weeks to win football, Steve. You got to have 2 massive weeks here to bounce back for the boys. Okay.
I got it. I'm back in the game.
You got to do something here because, I don't know. This is on you. But before we get into that, obviously we got to give some love to our sponsor, MyBookie. With so many sports books to choose from, you need a platform that makes it simple to bet and win, like MyBookie. MyBookie has a huge selection of odds, props, and contests for all your sports betting needs, anytime, anywhere. Stream games and live bet while you watch, so you can turn game day into payday with MyBookie. Sign up free today. Use promo code HIGHTOP and claim half the deposit match of any amount up to $1,000. Plain and simple. You put in $100, you get $50 for free. That's promo code HIGHTOP to claim your deposit bonus and give yourself the competitive edge. When you play with MyBookie, you're not just betting, you're joining the winning team. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Go get it, boys and girls. Go sign up with them bad boys and let's rock and roll.
Get in there.
Yeah, bird.
With that kind of intro, my gosh, let's dive into some pick'ems. Now, look, this is going to be a weird week.
It is a weird week. It's a quiet week, right?
It feels that way. There's a couple of big games. There are a couple of big games that'll be fun. There's a couple of snoozers that are ranked teams that are just like, why are we even proceeding with this exercise? But let's get into it. One of the games that will likely be a snoozer. We'll kick it off with our 2 games here, Shelly. Louisiana at FSU. It is a nooner. So that's gonna be it's just gonna be a raucous environment. Right now, FSU. Favored by 24.5.
Look, I think Florida State's been doing that to actually decent teams, so I gotta give it to the Noles here.
Yeah, I can see them putting up 42. I don't know a lot about Louisiana's offense. I know that they got a shot at a bowl game if they can win either this game or their next one, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a little bit of motivation on the Louisiana side. Sorry. All right, next up, also a nooner. So another raucous crowd in the freezing environment of Nashville, Tennessee. Florida travels to Vandy. Florida right now favored by 14.5. I would be remiss to not say Florida puts up 35 points. And I don't think Vandy can keep up with any of the close.
I'm taking Florida. Like I said, they've done a great job with covering their points this year. So. Yep.
And the last 2 weeks have been big for them to be
able to show
what
a good
football game looks like. Yep.
Hey, boys, we got 139 likes. Let's see when we get to 150, boys and girls, before we get into the show. Show some love. Let's get it. Let's get it.
We can do that.
Got 10 likes.
All right. Let's get into this thing. Let's go out west. We have got the number 25 Oregon State Beavers at Arizona State. The Beavers are a 7.5 point favorite.
What time is the game?
Shelly, I'll kick it. I don't know. It's probably 6, 7, something like that. Let me find it. It's not going to be an early game, let's be honest.
Oregon State, we said?
Yep, Oregon State. The Beavers and the Sun Devils.
What's the spread? 7?
7.5, yes.
Oregon State's giving them 7, correct?
Yes.
All right, let me go back. Give me Oregon State. Jeffrey Gregory, new here. Great content. Appreciate it, man. Welcome to the stream, big dog. Appreciate the love and support. We need 8 likes, boys. Come on, 5 likes.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Oregon State as well.
Okay.
All right, and I hate to go chalk right now. I need to find a way to make up some ground here. So, all right, we're both taking Oregon State. I don't know anything about Arizona State. It's a weird school. There are a lot of hot chicks, but that's about all I know. All right, so going back to the fact that there are a couple of decent matchups. This one doesn't have any like a very low number next to it. The teams aren't ranked, but it will be a rivalry. 7:30 kickoff. Oklahoma State at Oklahoma. This is the Bedlam rivalry, I believe, is what they call this.
Oklahoma's favored by 7.5 here.
7.5 favorite for Oklahoma Oklahoma night.
Give me the boys. Give me the Pokes.
Game. Who you got?
Give me the Pokes.
Damn it.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer to me, boys. 151 likes. You guys are awesome. Appreciate it, boys. Thank you. Can we get 200?
Love it. I don't want this, but I gotta be on the opposite side of you a little bit here. I was gonna take Oklahoma State. I actually thought you'd be on the OU side there. So
I hate Oklahoma.
I guess I know. I hate him. I hate him too.
No, I hate them more.
You don't know that. They never beat you for a national championship, so shut up.
That's right. We beat them.
That's true. So shut up. All right. Number 22, Cincinnati at Temple, out in Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken. The Pride, the Fighting Bill Cosby's at Temple. Number 22, Cincinnati at the Fighting Bill Cosby's.
Sucks.
4 p.m. Cincinnati is a 17.5-point favorite. Take it.
Yeah,
I'm taking Cincy. I'm taking Cincy.
I'll take
you went
Cincy.
first last one. Damn it.
Yeah, I'll take.
That's nothing for me.
I'll stay with you. Sorry.
You're the worst. See, now all you got to do is just cock block the rest of the way. I can already see what your motivation here is. SMU, another snoozer. It feels like, but who knows? These games can sometimes come down to the last play of the game. But so we'll throw it out there. SMU at number 21 Tulane, 7:30 game. Tulane. The line is Tulane giving 3.5. Tulane's ranked and it's at home. That one's to you, Shell.
Hold on. What is the game?
Tulane? It is Tulane. It's SMU at Tulane. 7:30 in New Orleans. And Tulane is favored by 3.5.
I'll take
or
Tulane.
at least giving 3. All right,
Even though they broke my heart last week.
They did. That was a good game, though. That was a good game. Well, sort of. I mean, it was closer. It wasn't as close as the schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to take SMU. I think SMU can score, and Tulane might be licking their wounds. This will give me a leg up to try to get a point back here. All righty. Let's do this one. Number 19, K-State at West Virginia. 2 p.m. game. K-State is favored by 7.5. I am going to take, gosh, what an odd game. I'm going to take West Virginia. I don't know a lot about them, but I just remember their defense or their offense just being really good. It's been a long time since they were that. I'm obviously aging myself.
You're taking the points?
Yeah.
I'll take K-State.
Okay. All right. There we go.
West
One of us
Virginia's
is going to
done.
pick up a point. Yeah, it looks that way. So this one's a weird historical game, but it's not going to be very exciting. Boston College at number 18, Notre Dame. It is a 2:30 game on the NBC. The line right now, Notre Dame favored at home by 21.5. That one's to me. Look, FSU won their first national championship after we lost to Notre Dame at Notre Dame. Charlie Ward's Heisman Trophy year. Had it not been for Boston College coming into Notre Dame on the last game of the year, kicking a field goal to beat them, it put Florida State into the national championship against Nebraska and got Bobby Bowden his first natty. For that reason and for that reason alone, I am always and forever going to root for Boston College against Notre Dame. There's a little history.
Yeah, I actually, from them taking down NC State, it's going to be 28 and snowing in Notre Dame. I don't think 21 is going to be. It's going to be a hard mountain to climb. So I'm taking BC as well.
You are a horrible person. Horrible person.
I
even thought if I told you this, I thought if I told you the story about how Boston.
Yeah, I
College
wasn't
helped
listening.
us win our national championship, you take Notre Dame. Doing everything I can here to get you off me. All right.
Story.
You listen to me now. All right. Navy at number 17, UCF. UCF is favored by 16.5. I don't know if this is accurate, but where I got these picks, it says the game is an 11 a.m. kick. 11 a.m. in Orlando. Seems odd, but okay.
It is.
11 a.m. That's so strange.
I like UCF here. Give me the Knights.
Even with 16 points, I hate that I'm doing it. But I don't see Vandy being able to keep up with them. UCF looked good in their last game. Let's go back out west. Colorado was the whipping post for USC last week. They're now going against number 15 Washington at Washington, 9 p.m. game. Washington is favored by 31.5. I hate those kind of spreads. This one's mine. Why? Oh, why? Oh, why? Colorado is just a terrible football team, and they proved it last week. That's a lot of points. I have no idea what the weather is going to be for that, but I imagine it'll be cold. 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. game. I'm going to say Washington can cover that. It's just I got to give myself a shot to pick up a game here. So I'm going to take Washington to those outrageous points.
I'll take Colorado.
Yeah. Guess the weather doesn't matter. They're both cold weather teams, right? Let's get a little spicy on this one. I like this game. Number 14, Ole Miss at Arkansas. 7:30 kickoff. It's going to give those Arkansans plenty of time to get lubed up. Mississippi is only giving 2.5 points.
Yeah, give me the Razorbacks.
Yeah. Oh, you're taking the Razorbacks, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Arkansans. Arkansas. All right, I will take Ole Miss. I'll see if I can't. Even with the points, I think Joey Freshwater's got a little.
Jordan thinks Washington will cover. I just think 31's a lot, and I haven't seen Washington really put up that many points all year. That's my reason for that.
I can make sense. Yep. All right. So Ole Miss.
Who'd you take?
See here. Let's jump back into.
Who did you take?
Skip the Ole Miss.
Okay. Do the LSU game.
Yeah. Well, I'll jump down to that one. Where'd it go? Here it is. Where are they?
Guys, I think Arkansas is better than what you guys are giving credit. It's in Arkansas again. They just gave LSU a fit. I'm telling you, dude, 2.5. There's a reason why it's close. There's a reason why it's close.
LSU
plays UAB. And they're only favored by 14.5.
That's just ridiculous. Why are we doing this game?
Because I feel like it's a shoo-in. If you're betting, this is a game you go put all your fucking marbles on. 14.5.
You absolutely do. Oh
this is the one you go double down on right here. I mean, this to me is a giveaway, in my opinion. 14.5 against UAB at LSU.
All right, so I'm assuming that we're both taking LSU.
Yeah, I mean, guys, go get the bets in. I mean,
let's do this.
Run to the bookies.
Use my code high top. So what about this? So the over-under on that game is 52.5. Since we're both taking LSU, do you want to do an over-under for a tiebreaker on it?
No, I'm just take my freebie.
I hate him. Gosh, I hate him. You see what I deal with, people? Do you see what I deal with? I'm going to skip Georgia Tech, North Carolina. I think it's boring.
Yeah. Let's do TCU and Baylor.
Penn State, Rutgers, pass. Let's get down.
Baylor and TCU.
Do I have that one on here? Yeah, I got them. They're ahead. From here on out, it's all ranked teams, but it goes from 10, 9, 8, 7 all the way down to 1. So these are all ranked. This is a good one, though. Utah at number 12, Oregon. Number 10, Utah. You guys know those guys, right? You guys know who the Utah Utes are, right?
Yeah, I know. I've heard of them.
Yeah. Okay. So the number 10 Utah Utes with at least one loss that I know of going to the University of Oregon. It is a 10:30 game, people. This is the game that you watch when you are still drunk.
Sleepy time game.
It's the sleepy time game.
Give me your pick.
Oregon is a 3-point favorite. Oregon at home. I just don't trust Utah after what I've seen.
You're taking the Ducks?
Yeah, Ducks. But Utah's defense is good. They've been playing well. I'm not going to take anything away from them.
Give me the Utes, baby.
Oh, man. Oh, you're looking for that strength of schedule win here, huh? Fair enough. All right. This will be fun. This will just be an absolute clown show. We have Miami at number 9, Clemson. It's a 3:30 game. Clemson is favored by 19 at home against the Miami. What the hell is going on around here? Hurricanes. It's you got I took Oregon, you took Utah, so this is your pick. 19-point spread.
I would say Miami, but I think Clemson might be pissed. And they got to go out and dominate if they want any chance to be in the conversation for the playoffs. And Dabo knows that, and the guys know that. Yeah. And obviously they still got to go through the ACC championship in UNC, but they can't squeak by this game. If they squeak by and win the ACC, nobody's going to care. They have to especially what Florida State did to them. They have to slaughter these boys.
Yeah,
give me the Tigers.
Van Dyke's still out. Yeah,
give me the Tigers.
Still out. Clemson for us both. Van Dyke still can't throw a football. Why they even trotted that kid out there against Florida State was a horrible, horrible decision.
You know what I love? You know what I love? Miami could lose back-to-back games and not be in a bowl game. I promise you, I'm going to light up these fuckers on Twitter once Miami doesn't make it.
Look, I mean, at that point, it's pancake season. We'll go to IHOP together. Maybe we'll do a little Rudy Tooty, fresh and fruity. We'll just watch the recruits jump to Tallahassee and Gainesville, respectively, one after the other. I'm gonna be so obnoxious. I'm so obnoxious if Miami doesn't make it. I promise you. More so than usual. Look out, people. More so than usual. All right, so let's go back out to the West Coast. This is going to be a great game. Number 7. USC at number 16 UCLA. 8 p.m.
What a game! I've been waiting for this game all
a great game.
Freaking year. What time is the game? I got it.
It is an 8 p.m. game. It's an 8 p.m. game. Look, this is the one game a year that both teams wear their home colors. So you have the powder blue and gold against the
red.
Whatever red and gold. But it always looks perfect when the two teams play each other. Just the color match. It just looks like old school Keith Jackson is your announcer style college football. So that's a great one. You took Clemson first. I'm going to go on this one. USC is giving 2.5. I think USC wins that game. So give me USC over UCLA.
Yeah, I'm taking USC too. That's my playoff team, so I have to pick them. You should have known that.
All right, well, then I'll flip it. I'll flip it to UCLA. I got to try to get a leg up on you. I think you're going to take that one. So I got to have opportunities here.
Yeah, I forgot. You got to. Yeah, I can just play it safe for the end of the year.
That's what I was saying at the beginning. Is all you got to do is just cock block me every time. I'm
not trying to. I can't just pick I'm not going to be an idiot about it.
Well, you picked me for a co-host, so take that.
Hey, I can't do that again.
Well, look, you can only make one terrible decision per podcast, so here we are. All right, so let's get back into the SEC here. We have number 5, Tennessee. I also believe some folks on this cast may know who they are. Number 5, Tennessee at also a familiar face, South Carolina.
I'll go first because
7 p.m. game. Yeah, 7 p.m. game.
So you can cock block or do it. So I'm not cock blocking you, okay? I did this in my stream yesterday, so you could already had some insight. The same reason why I took Clemson. I think Tennessee has to get some style points here and look flashy going into the end here. They've got to blow these guys out. They got to cover, especially if Florida just did it. No reason why Tennessee shouldn't do it.
Yeah, and they will. I'm gonna take South Carolina. They're licking their wounds. Maybe they come out and play hard for the Beamer. So I'll take US. Here, let me.
Yo, the fresh looking, the cuts looking kind of fresh.
All right.
I miss my locks, but
I know. See, it's growing on you.
Yeah,
it's growing on you. All right, let's get into the game you just called out here. Number 4, TCU, coming off a big win against Texas, going to Baylor. It is a noon game, an 11 o'clock kickoff out that way.
I'll go first again, just so I'm gonna go first the rest of the way out. So because I don't want it to feel like I'm cock blocking you. I want it to be as fair as possible.
I appreciate that.
I feel that this could be a trap game for TCU. I don't want, as much as people would love to see TCU in a Final Four, I promise you do not want to see TCU in a Final Four. You don't. You just don't. No. And I'm not trying to be rude. And I love the Horned Frogs. I love the whole kind of atmosphere. But they're going to get steamrolled by any of those 3 guys. And if they play Georgia, it's not going to be fun. And we're like, all right, that was cute. You don't want to see it. It's like the Boise State of the world. A little bit better, but it's the same concept. You don't want it. When it's here, you're like, you're right. I fucked up. I shouldn't want that.
We should have never done this.
You'd rather have Clemson. Decision. You would rather have a 1-loss mediocre Clemson than an undefeated TCU. I promise you that. So
let me ask you this real fast. Who would be the most overrated team in the playoffs? Cincinnati last year or TCU this year?
Oh, Cincinnati last year. Cincinnati last year. TCU is way better. So it's a little bit better Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, yeah.
Yeah. Look, could they shock it?
Okay.
Yes, but I think TCU would be better off in that third slot facing a Michigan, Ohio State, or even like maybe Tennessee, or LSU, depending on how it works out. But if they play Georgia in the first round, that's not going to be fun. If you want it to be fun, let them play somebody else. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's as bad as Cincy, but it's pretty damn close to it. I think Cincy was way worse.
All right, who you got? So the TCU is at Baylor, noon, 11 o'clock kickoff out there.
I got Baylor. I got Baylor. Baylor's my pick.
You got Baylor. All right. Ooh, Look at that. Fancy. All right. Well, I'm going to take TCU. We are rounding out the top three.
Drop some light, boys. Let's get to 170 likes. Let's get it. Go ahead.
Let's go now. People,
let's subscribe too, boys. You're brand new and you love what you're getting. Come on. Hop aboard this hype train. Let's get it, boys.
It's every Wednesday, 8:35. We go live. Number 2, Ohio State at Maryland, 3:30 kickoff.
I hate
Ohio State favored by 27.5. It's disgusting. This is their warm-up game for Michigan next week. And Michigan's off. So
I think Ohio State.
Yeah, and it's going to be Ohio State will score 60, 70. I mean, this is literally a practice game for them. So we're both in the same boat there. I can't lose any ground on you just by taking something stupid like Maryland. All right, and then drum roll, please. We'll go back to the SEC for the number 1 Georgia Bulldogs going to, the Kentucky falling apart by the seams, Bluegrass Wildcats. 3:30 kick. Georgia is giving against the mighty Kentucky Wildcats 22.5 points. Shelly, what you got?
I think this is Kentucky's Super Bowl. And I think Georgia is pretty much set to be in the playoffs. They don't need to go and blow out Kentucky, but Kentucky's got to have some life here. And Will Levis has to save his draft stock a little bit, in my opinion. It's in Kentucky. I'm taking the Cats.
You taking the Cats? Okay. I'm going to take Georgia just because they have been consistent. That and Kentucky plays Louisville the next game. So I don't know if they want to go all out just trying to stay competitive with Georgia. So we'll see what they do because Kentucky-Louisville is a big deal to them. It sounds like a boring game to us.
Who are you taking?
But I'm taking Georgia. I think Georgia will cover that.
Okay.
I think they can cover that just by running the ball every time, to be honest.
True.
Yeah. All right, kids. That's it. That is all the way down to the number 1 game.
Well, boys, thank you as always for hanging out. We got 9 likes to the 170. Let's see if we can get there before we hop and roll, before we close it down here. Georgia will probably kill them. Coach says I can't disagree. Coach Papa Stokes. Matthew said I can't disagree. George said I agree with you. Kentucky by 3. Would love a little upset, but I think Kentucky. I think Kentucky's going to give a little bit of battle. I really do. I think they've got to have a little bit left in the tank, and I think 22 is a little bit disrespectful. Florida covered their 21.5.
That's true.
So it's essentially the same spread, and Florida didn't look great. I mean, towards the second half, but Georgia did get on a little bit of a tear. I just think Georgia's going to come out in the same kind of anger as it did against Florida. But boys and girls, make sure you guys like and subscribe. We're on the way to 5,000 subs. We got a little bit of way to go, but we're moving and cruising one day at a time. It's free to subscribe, free to like, turn the bell on. We go live every Wednesday. That's consistent, but we go live even more than that. It's whenever we're feeling frisky. We do our watch party shows on Saturday for the games. We might do on Friday. I'll do a poll out there. We've been hanging out with the polls, and I'm gonna work on for Friday. I'll give Papa Stokes about the Gator Dockside and watching this with you guys and Steve and Florida State. What a way to end the season for High Top's first, technically second college football season, but first kind of real legit dialed in one. But boys and girls, ladies and gents, thank you as always for hanging out with us, stopping by, taking an hour out of your Wednesday night to hang out with us, our 2 doofus asses. We really do appreciate it. We love the support. We love you guys. Until next time, I'm Sheldon.
And I'm Holly.
Boogity, 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 boys. Make sure you guys drop a like. Let's get it. See ya.
Let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start.